The way I'm going to start this video is with a question. Do y'all think Pirate Software is now considered a locale? Because the way he is falling out is actually record pace. Because many people agree that if Pirate Software actually apologized and let his ego aside, this probably wouldn't be happening to him. I know a lot of you be standing on business, but this is the prime example of when not to stand on business when you're clearly in the wrong. The funny thing about Pirate Software is that I already knew that he faked his voice, but I've never heard his actual voice before until I saw this clip.
The Denver Comic-Con, I'm HB Duran for Video Game News Source, and I'm here, guess where? With the games, of course. I'm here with Thor, founder of Pirate Software. How's your show been so far?
It's actually been amazing. It's our first time out here at Denver Comic-Con, and there's so many people, and they love the games, so it's been awesome.
Yeah, I expected his voice to be like this, I can't lie. He out there deepening his voice for these huzz, man. I'm sick. I heard he's played at World at Warcraft, so why are you, like, deepening your voice or using a voice changer to go deeper? You're supposed to go to Valorant for that, okay? Like, trust me. Most of the people that have those deep-ass voices are probably fake as hell. But regardless of that, the fact that he was faking his voice to me was already funny. There's this YouTuber that has been covering the whole Pirate Software saga on the same level as More Pegasus. Just like look at how many videos they have made on Pirate Software, dude. And do you know what? I do not blame them. I already know that 5-10K on a lot of these videos, he making bank, bro. If I was getting the same amount of views as Quinn here, bro, I would be milking the Pirate Software saga like crazy, bro. You guys would see like 4 different Pirate Software videos every single day if I was getting this amount of views. Now, if you guys don't know, the Stop Killing Games movement actually got over the signature limit. I believe it's at 1.4 million as of me recording this video. So we did our job, guys. But here in this video, Quinn here is showing evidence that Pirate Software actually cheated on like a world record on a hype train on Twitch. Now, I'm not a Twitch streamer. I'm not a streamer by any means necessary. But if I'm not mistaken, hype trains are usually like how many people donate in a certain time frame, I think. So cheating on a hype train for a world record is kind of crazy. But I'm going to show you a few clips from this video. And yeah, let's see the evidence, I guess. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and liking the video if you do enjoy. And yeah, let's get right into it.
When somebody in my Discord, shout out to CK, ends up sending in a screenshot of this tweet. This tweet comes from Guy, and they say Pirate Software accidentally revealed his DMs with Kronos during the April 1st Twitch Giga Train, showing that they were boosting it themselves. This is why the stream is unavailable to watch. And here we have this screenshot. I want to make it clear at this point, this is the only thing that we have in regard to this situation. So let's take a look at that screenshot. Now in this screenshot, it is Pirate wearing a banana costume, or excuse me, a long lemon. And he's on Discord here, and it looks like he must have accidentally pulled up this Discord interaction that he was having with Kronos. That's his lead moderator. Reading off the messages here, the first one from Kronos is, Pirate responds, let me know if you do. Bits is going to be the best way to do it due to the return if you need to save it. Kronos says, bits rather than tier 3s? Pirate responds, tier 3s might be better, don't know. Bits is 82% return when you buy them in bulk. Have you bought any yet? Kronos says, I've done 100 tier 1s on my personal, ready to do 40 tier 3s on an alt, can do bits instead or both. Then Kronos says, did 50k bits at 20 seconds left. Pirate says, okay, what is the alt account? Kronos replies, serendipitous bean, where's the beef? And then below that, he says, didn't mention this to the mods either. Now the challenge is to clear the queue.
So you mean to tell me that Pirate Software was boosting the hype train to get a world record? What is this, private server on Dokkan? Boosting in Legends? Boosting players in Rocket League Ranked? I mean, I can't lie. I didn't like Pirate Software. This is just going to make me hate him even more. He cheated on a Twitch hype train because, I don't know, it looks nice to flex. Because his Nepo baby mindset, he needs to have all these records. And also recently, I found out that Pirate Software, his credentials when it comes to coding are entry level, meaning it's somebody fresh out of college and they need experience to learn the coding field a bit more. I forgot what video it was. If I manage to find it, I'll show you here on the screen now. But his credentials when it comes to coding are literally your friend out of college, basically. Which is kind of funny.
Vedal is a name of a VTuber who ended up beating that record and getting to a 111 level hype train. And this is what Pirate Software had to say when they found out their record was broken.
So Vedal broke the hype train record. Vito's record is now level 111, and that's wild. I think that's freaking incredible, to be honest with you. With help from Valorant, I mean, yeah. So during that hype train, they got an extra 19,000 subs from Valorant, which is wild, like absolutely wild. So I think they ended up with something like 80,000 subs. Our hype train was 54,000 subs, but you guys had given 8 million bits, and that was kind of the difference between the two. No, there's no cheating. No, don't try to diminish what they did at all. I think Vital is an amazing content creator. I think Neurosam is cool as shit.
Me when I lie, so that way they don't figure out I was actually cheating for my own record. I kind of find it funny how Pirate Software is super like nonchalant about it, because I feel like he knows that he's gonna cheat his way to break that record. But again, I'm really thinking about this. Imagine cheating for a world record just so some people could say, damn, yo, he managed to hit that shit, and then just like move on.
Here it is in all of its glory. It is 11 hours and 59 minutes and 57 seconds. To the best of my knowledge, this stream was 12 hours long. So they usually do that 11-hour 55 cut, so we have the entire thing, and it's not super relevant to be missing those last couple of minutes because we have everything we need here. As a matter of fact, if I go ahead and jump over here to 7:26, we're going to see exactly what I'm talking about.
I wished I could place my head between them and go full burr mode and make...
What?
So this is him pulling it up on stream here, and I'll just go ahead and let the rest of it play, as you guys will see that this is indeed Pirate Software. You can see his messages between Kronos, the ones that we were just showing you, and then you're going to watch him go ahead and delete the text-to-speech that he just heard.
What? What is this? Where is it? I'm gonna find this. I need to find your message.
You know, I've always thought about having the whole thing with like second monitors, so that way you don't leak your own like Discord messages. This is the prime example of get a second monitor, guys, if you're able to. Because eventually Pirate Software is going to realize that he just leaked his entire Discord message with Chrono right there, and he's somehow going to try to play it off. But in reality, the fact that Quinn managed to find the archive op to prove the validation of the screenshot, so that way it's not like fabricated or whatever. Which probably makes more sense on why Pirate Software wanted this VOD gone from existence as fast as he could, because many people were probably going to see that screenshot of his Discord where his moderator is like, alright, I'm about to give 100 tier gifts to on my main and then a couple more on my alt account, you feel me? And Quinn actually does bring up a good point where he's talking about if you want less harassment, wouldn't you donate more on the alt account and less on the main, so that way you're getting less harassed? He does bring up a good point there. You know how they told us in school that cheaters never win? This is the prime example of cheaters never winning, bro. This is hilarious.
Now, my leading theory here, specifically with that 82% number that Thor is throwing out, has to do with the conversion rate when you get bits into a Twitch stream. Now, as you can see here, when your viewers perform and confirm an action that requires bits within the extension on your channel page, you'll earn 80% of 1 US cent per bit used, and the remaining 20% is shared with the extension developer. So here's that 80%, but let's do a little bit of that math. So taking a look here, I just took a screenshot. I went into a Twitch stream, went to the bits, and you can actually get a 12% discount at 25,000 bits. So that puts you at a $308 price tag. Now, to make this a bit easier to understand, one of my buddies here actually created this here, so special thanks to them, but we're showing that 82%. So bit is 82% when you buy them in bulk. What he means is if you spend $308 to buy 25,000 bits, donate them, the streamer gets $250. And then of course, Twitch takes its fee, that 20% being $58, which means that $250 is the money going out, like to the streamer, and $308 is the money that you put into the system to give that $250 to the streamer. So that's how you end up getting a return on your money of 81.1.6. Now there is that 0.84%, discrepancy between this 81% and 82% the Pirates referencing, but I think that that is a safe enough margin of error when we're talking about this. But all of that math is to show that this 82% return when you buy them in bulk is referencing that they are receiving 82% of the funds that are used in these donations, meaning that 82% is going to Pirate Software, which would then in turn, and I think the only reason Pirate Software is talking about this return is because that money would be going back to Chrono.
Damn, bro, that was a whole lot of math, and I'm not even starting my second semester of college yet, bro. This man faked his reputation and fully deserves the downfall that he's getting now that more people are actually finding out about him. Like I mentioned earlier, people were looking through his coding credentials and shit and found out that they're basic level entry, not the expertise level of gassing that he usually does on stream. And also, this man loves to flex the fact that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years. I've heard it so much that if you go on YouTube, there's a whole compilation of Pirate Software just saying Blizzard. And also, the reason we call him a Nepo baby was because his father was a Blizzard employee and was actually part of the cinematics team, I believe. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know if that's true or not. What is true is that his dad worked at Blizzard, and then he got a job at Blizzard just playtesting games. So, nepotism at his finest, chat. There's this other thing where Pirate Software didn't call his dad for his birthday. Like, come on, bro. That's like bare minimum shit, man. He gave you life and gave you an opportunity to do all this shit. And you won't even like call him for a happy birthday, man. That's fake as fuck. That's actually some fuck shit. Now, the next section I want to get with this Quinn video is there could be an argument made for a potential TOS breach. That's kind of what I want to get into here because I love debating like what ifs. Could Pirate Software get banned for this? The short answer is no. He probably won't because let's be real, Twitch be letting anything slide nowadays. So I just don't see this happening at all. But I like debating and seeing maybe there's a possibility, maybe not. I'll just show you the clip now.
Now, what I'm showing you guys here is from Twitch's legal Bits Acceptable Use Policy. Now, I'm just going to read the title of this area that I'm going to be reading from. Bits cannot be directly exchanged for items or services of value. Now, that specifically directly exchanged is a bit, convoluted here since it's going directly to the stream, but then supposedly, potentially, Kronos will be getting paid back. The front line reads, don't engage in an exchange of bits for items or services that typically are associated with a cost or value. Communities can gather to achieve a goal that unlocks a benefit or experience for the community, explained further below. Creators can announce benefits in response to individual cheers. However, in each of those scenarios, the activity does not provide a return of anything of value. And down here explicitly, it says, now the don'ts that constitute violations of this policy. Don't solicit bits in exchange for money or donations, and don't request money or donations for bits. Now, this doesn't work because Pirate is not saying, hey, we're, giving you guys money if you give me bits. And it's also not Kronos requesting money for those donations. But if we come down here, we can see this specific point here. Selling, offering to sell, trading, bartering, or transferring bits to other users of Twitch in exchange for real or virtual currencies. Now this, we could make the argument that the selling, or I should say offering to sell or transferring bits to other users of Twitch in exchange for real currency would be the equivalent of Kronos donating those bits to Pirate's stream, knowing that he's getting this, as we talked about, that 82% return. Or I should say that 82% return is going to Pirate. That assumption being that this return of 82% is for Pirate so that he can get it back to him and lower their overhead costs. Now again, there is nothing directly stating outright you cannot, as like a moderator or an employee for a streamer, donate bits to, get that money back afterwards. But there's no specific ruling on that, or not at least that I've seen from the research that I've put together, or that any research with people that I have worked with making this video have found themselves.
So to me, it's like there's an argument for it, but is it good? Maybe. I don't think it's the greatest argument. Then again, it's just like a what if. Like if you look at the rules of Twitch and shit, you can kind of see that maybe there's a possibility for it. Nothing too crazy. But then again, a lot of people could say that this is a pretty weak argument. So he's probably not going to get banned. And like I just said a few minutes ago, it's just kind of like an argument's sake, kind of like these what ifs. But that would actually shock me if Twitch were to ban Pirate Software. That would actually be shocking, but it's not going to happen. Let's be real, people. I just think he's a loser for, one, trying to downplay the Stop Killing Games movement, and now with this, cheating for a world record. Like, this shit is so funny. Like, guys, I had to cheat to get a record so that way I can be posted everywhere. Like, I don't know. That's just loser behavior to me in my eyes. Doing the absolute most, even cheating, so that way you can get a record that, like, will probably be forgotten in, like, a few days, like 12 hours. I guess since I don't be streaming like that, I don't find it that impressive to have that insane level of a hype train, because I don't be watching streamers often, and I don't even stream myself, so it's like, I don't see the craziness in it per se. But overall, I'm here for the Pirate Software downfall, as many other slop creators have been as well. I guaranteed if he just apologized, none of this would have gotten exposed. What an idiot. That's what I'm saying. Like, he could have done the absolute, I would even say the bare minimum, of just apologizing for being wrong, But his ego is so big that he just didn't want to do it and decided to double or triple down on this shit like his life depended on it. And now he's getting exposed and is losing like a shit ton of subscribers and shit. I saw a screenshot where he lost like 250k subs of the last like 30 days. So overall, yeah, fuck this guy.